Well, good morning, humanity. It's February 21, 2022, and it's our favorite time of the week because it's Mondays with Bev and Paul. And oh, Bev, you went back a little bit. Move forward.
I'm far
Uh,
away.
yeah. I had your picture. Can you scoot forward just a little? Oh, yeah, that's oh, yeah, that's better.
Oh yeah, let's just
We
get it
want to
right.
see your face then.
Uh-huh.
Well, good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. You have a good time in Tucson? I mean, in Tombstone?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Vigilante days
we
this weekend.
yes, sir. If you all want to have a good time, you go visit Bev in Tombstone, Arizona, and she'll show you all
Yep.
the back alley places of Tombstone.
Unfortunately, that's true.
Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about how biotouch is a new paradigm in healing. And we also have a little short 5 minute interview with our presenter, Dr. Julia Anderson, who is going to present our plantar fasciitis. And I was so inspired by her presentation because we had to tape it early. So we did a little interview with her about her own personal life, and we're going to share her so you get a little knowing about who she is and her presentation on Thursday. But first, a new paradigm in healing, biotouch. Why do we even say that? How can we even say that? What gives us the
Yeah, I
gump
know.
to
Well,
say that?
that word it's being used because there's on many levels. There's new paradigms of thinking about all of our social orders and our priorities and our value systems. But what's happening in globally is definitely there's a movement within humanity and in all the kingdoms in nature here. A new paradigm, a new way of being is coming in. And so for you and I, we know that biotouch is here now to present possibilities of embracing new ways of living and being and connecting with each other. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a most amazing time to be here. And for those of us who are working in the foundation and really taking our responsibilities seriously, biotouch is not it's not this everybody's grabbing onto it, because it's more than just touching on the skin. That's where it all begins. That's just the first step, the first gift that BioTouch offers is actually coming into this relationship. But boy, what happens when you start practicing BioTouch in your daily life over time? You are going to step into a new paradigm
All right.
of experiencing your health and your life.
And so the things that distinguish that make it that we always go over here is, first of all, it's easy to learn. It doesn't take a particular language because there's one thing in common with everybody on the planet, and that's these two fingers. And I just went to Spain the other day and taught this couple. The woman didn't speak any English, and he spoke, fair English, but he had a tumor on his kidney, and he'd been doing medical procedures. Had heard about BioTouch, and in 45 minutes, I was able to teach her how to work with him, and kept telling. And of course, one of the big questions was about, well, don't you have to have an intention? That's another new paradigm in
Right.
healing. No intention. Just be present with who you are.
That brings up something else, because one of the new paradigms that you and I've talked about is this thought of affluency. But a word that's been coming to me lately is the word resource. And I'm beginning to understand that every single one of us is a resource. It's not about monetary or possessions. We ourselves, each one of us, is a unit of a resource of love here. And this is one of the most powerful things that BioTouch offers every single one of us, to step into our service, our responsibility, our ability to actually connect and help another human being. That is powerful. So we have to start thinking. The new paradigm is we have to change the way that we're thinking about our own self-worth. My worth is how much money I have in the bank, or what car, or what house, or what job I have. No, we have to get back to the innate resource of our lives. That's love. That
And
is
yeah,
being present.
and we were talking about that being present. It's about being present in relationship. That's a new
Right.
paradigm. I
Yeah.
mean, when we teach biotouch, first thing, oh, can I work on myself? Well, that self-healing is nice, and it works many times, but real healing is in relationship. And it's
You know what I was just thinking about? I'm sorry, I got to interrupt
no.
what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking BioTouch is about us growing up. Can I just touch myself? No. You have to step in and take responsibility with another human being. Sorry. You can't just touch yourself anymore. Got to grow up.
That'll be our next Facebook post or something. Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's like get into relationship. We don't need to put a barrier or a bubble around ourselves
Separate
anymore.
ourselves.
Yes, let's be present with another human being. And in our research, what did we find? Off the charts, feeling cared for. People felt
Right.
so cared for when they were touched skin to skin compared to a lot of those other modalities where they didn't touch on, and people felt less
Right.
cared for pre and post session. That was an interesting little experiment that we did.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it puts people in the present moment. I mean, even if you're on a virtual training, I mean, so many times I'm doing these teachings now, and everybody leaves their screen off. They don't want to be seen. And so I've asked people when I go on and do these presentations. I just did one for a local doctor here, Dr. Patch, for her patients, and it was interesting because most of the people, even after I asked, kept their screen off.
Kept their screen.
It's like, oh, I don't want, because even in this virtual world, we can have a relationship. I can see you and you can see me and I can see your
Right.
reaction and I can
Right.
tell whether you're fooling around on your phone or whether
Yeah.
you're listening to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And
Maybe
if
that
you're,
was it.
yeah, and if you're on your
They,
phone, I'm not doing a very good
they
job of
don't want you to
presenting.
see them.
Right, right.
They're not paying attention.
So, so even this
Well,
virtual world is a
yeah,
possibility of
yeah.
teaching.
And that's the virtual world's part of the new paradigm, but its intention, pardon the word, but its purpose is to, in the midst of this separateness, even through the ethers, we can be present with each other.
Yeah,
Like you say, we can see each other, talk to each other, watch each other, and whatever works. But here's the thing that I was thinking too about being present. Being present isn't just being standing in front of a person. That BioTouch gives us the opportunity to do that. But when you are truly present, you are conscious, you are at peace, you are quiet, you are listening, you are watching, you are there. And what BioTouch lets us say to when we are present with another person is, I care about you. I see you.
right.
I feel your pain and I want to help you.
Yeah,
That's what's innate in all of us. That's the new paradigm. We need to be more present. And thank God BioTouch is here. It's opening a door that we've had closed for a very long time.
right. And so our goal is to teach it to you, to allow you to sit in the presence with another human being, to feel them. That's why we
Yeah,
touch on the skin.
right.
We're sentient beings.
That's real.
Yeah. We feel cold, we feel heat, we feel our when we have a fever or a pain. Why not feel another human being? Why not allow ourselves to be loved?
Yeah,
And we talked
right.
about that, the tears that come from that deep
It's a welling up,
experience.
isn't it?
Right.
It's a welling up of love, really. And we feel it in our hearts. And when that happens, and because I've cried on occasion when I start talking about BioTouch because I feel it so innately in me, and the gift that it's here to give, that it moves me to tears.
Yeah.
And
and that is powerful in itself. You know, just
yeah,
hi Fatos from Istanbul. She's on with us. But and that's the thing. The tears is a universal language. Doesn't matter if you're in Istanbul or Germany or Mexico or the United States. It's a human experience, and BioTouch
right.
gives us that opportunity to live in the human experience. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. There are no levels in biotouch. We're all just human beings trying
We're
to live
just
out
here
this human,
together.
just trying to live out this human experience.
Yeah.
So that tear thing is very interesting because when I did the interview with Dr. Julia, at the end of her presentation, which is awesome, folks, you need to join us Thursday. It'll also be
Definitely.
sent out on an email. But when I asked her about BioTouch in relation to the work she does, the first thing she started doing is crying. It was like not just simple tears. It was like you said, a welling up from within.
Yeah.
So I couldn't help but interview her personally, so people could know her personally before her presentation as a professional. So we're going to take that little 5 minutes here, and I'm going to play the interview that I did with Dr. Julia about her personally and why she does what she does as a physical therapist. So here that is. So Julia, tell me, why'd you even get involved in? This is a different recording here. Why'd you even get involved in physical therapy?
Well, you know, that's kind of interesting. I think it's because my family I raised Seventh Day Adventist, and there's a very strong missionary background. You know, where we want to. My grandparents were missionaries in Ethiopia and China. My dad and mom were missionaries in Ethiopia and Eritrea, and I was raised up there for as a missionary kid. And then they're all medical. You know, my dad is an orthopedic surgeon, my mom's a nurse, and all my siblings are medical stuff too. But I thought at first when I was going to school that I was going to be a doctor because I felt like that gave me a lot of freedom. And then my dad said, you know, Julia, if you become a physical therapist, you still get to learn all about the body and how fascinating it is and how it works. But you also don't have to be the end all person that has to take all the responsibility. And I thought, well, that sounds good. And so I love study. I'm an artist too, so I loved anatomy and all the stuff like Michelangelo. You know, it was just all good for me. I loved it. It was fun. But you know, also I feel like helping people. I love people. I love doing things to help out. I feel inspired by my work, and I'm inspired by my patients. It's like just the way I was raised and who I am. I'm not necessarily a Seventh-day Adventist. I'm probably I don't know if you have a name for it. I believe that there's religion because there's some good in each religion, but I also feel like there's no one particular religion that's right. So right. My heart, I think it's a spiritual mission in my heart too. So maybe that's why it makes me emotional.
Well, it's that emotion. You can certainly feel your heart. Through all of that, how'd you end up in Fairplay, Colorado?
Well, I love horses, and I wanted to have some land, and I wanted a place where I could have my horses with me because they're kind of a heart animal for me. And so when I was in Colorado, I came up to this park. You know, it was up here, and it was so beautiful. You come up over Kenosha Pass, and it's just like, it's so open and beautiful and pristine looking. You know, it's like, I like it here. But didn't realize quite how long the winters were. So I've one of my future plans is to be someplace warmer in the winter and still enjoy the beautiful summers up here. But it was just Gorgeous. It's
Well,
gorgeous.
we could use you down here in Tucson for the winters. I'm sure Eileen would love to see you down here.
Oh, I'd love to see her too. Yeah, I used to actually go down there to ride horses and took my horse down to Cave Creek. So I've got friends down there, and I did that for about three winters, and then my husband slash ex-husband got cancer, and it was just like it's just too much to try and do all of it. And anyway.
So let me ask you one more thing. So you got involved in the medical field, so to speak. When was it that you sort of, as I would call it, wake up? That there was much more than just the physicality of life.
Well, I hung out in Boulder a lot. Yeah, well, being raised Christian, and I really believed in God. But then, of course, you go through this process of being like, I don't know, it's kind of I tried to throw the whole thing out, and then it's like, wait a second, I can't throw the whole thing out. I'm a lot like Eileen in some ways, because I have a lot of intuitive and guidance that I know isn't my mind. I know that God speaks to me. That a lot of times when I would be working on somebody, angels would show up and they'd just be like, oh crap.
Right.
And then they'd break my mind open, because sometimes, I was taught this way, and then these angels show up and you're like, okay, now what? And then it's a journey, because you keep learning, and there's divine guidance that keeps coming in, and you go, okay, this is more fun than anything else, because it makes me feel more like I'm in alignment, because I know I'm being supported. For this person to give them the guidance that maybe would be most beneficial for them, instead of just, how sometimes we can get with our ego and think, I'm telling them what they need to know, and it's like, I don't want to ever do that. I want to be, if I say something, it has to be guided to say, other than what I just told you today. This divine guidance, it's taken me time, and I know this helps, and it helps to heal really fast, but like sometimes it might be other things come in, and that's part of what makes it super fun.
Perfect. Well, we look forward to sharing about plantar fasciitis on Thursday. We'll show this little interview on Monday. So you're awesome, Julia. Thank you so much for being part of our family. So. Wow,
It's going to be a good workshop.
She's good. It's so wonderful to see somebody in the standard medical practice that really balances the inner and outer, and in her presentation on Thursday, you really will get that sense.
So that may be the new paradigm in the whole essence of the medical community. I think there's a lot of doctors who are starting to want to be, as they call it, more hands-on, more personal with those that they are helping.
Right. So we encourage people to learn BioTouch. In a sense, BioTouch empowers people to work with their practitioners,
right?
Medical practitioners, alternative, integrative practitioners. It empowers you. It gives you that sense of hope within yourself to know that you are being guided also. You might not hear angels or hear voices, but if it gives you hope, if it gives you a sense of well-being, know that that's that inner guidance. And BioTouch, I've seen over 33 years, gives people that sense of hope and the ability to listen and then act on it.
Yeah, it helps us to speak up for ourselves, doesn't it? Yeah.
So join us Thursday with Dr. Julia, and we'll teach you some points on how to work with plantar fasciitis. And this was an excellent little presentation. Thank you, Bev. I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
Yes, we enjoyed sharing it with all of you. Join us, justtouch.com. Join us next week, Mondays with Bev and Paul. and specifically join us Thursday for plantar fasciitis. So until next
See you
week,
then.
see you all.
Have a great week.
I can feel the pain in sunshine or rain, so it's not caused by the weather, but it doesn't hurt that much after I feel your loving touch and we spend some time together. You take my pain away each and every day. You're an angel from heaven on high. Your butterfly touch helps me heal so much, and I get better as time goes by. You take my pain away.